Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com, and today I'd like to share with you one of the upcoming projects that we're going to be working on. This is a 1969 Ford Mustang Convertible. It just arrived, we just unloaded it from the trailer. This is an abandoned project that someone else had started on. It was sitting in a garage for roughly 3 to 5 years. So we're going to complete this, this build. So we really like the front style of the 69, so it's been basically pre-assembled or put back together. It was in a lot of different pieces in the client's garage. So we've got the fenders and the bezels that are going to need some work, but a lot of the fabrication, all the metal work, or most of the metal work has been done. So we're going to check everything over, but we basically just unloaded the vehicle. It was originally a maroon car with the white top and the black interior. So it was originally 6-cylinder, and it's been modified. It has a 6-cylinder in it now, but they've changed the wheels. For those of you that are familiar with the Mustangs, if it was equipped from the factory with a 6-cylinder engine, it was a 4-bolt pattern for the wheels. And you'll notice that both the front wheels here and the rear, they've been upgraded to a 5-bolt. So the way this car sits presently, it's going to receive quite a few upgrades. So without confusing you too much, it was originally a 6-cylinder car, 4-wheel drum brakes, and a 4-bolt pattern. It's been changed to a 5-bolt pattern, but still non-power 4-wheel drum brakes. The rear end has been changed from the normal 6-cylinder standard 3-to-1 ratio rear end to an upgraded rear end to receive a V8 engine. Non-posi at this point, and 5-bolt pattern. So we have the 9-inch rear end, or 8-inch rear end, and we'll do some testing on the rear differential. I believe that will work fine for our application. However, right now it has the 6-cylinder engine that's been freshened up. That's just sitting in it right now. So we're going to remove this 6-cylinder engine. It's had quite a bit of detail work done. The camera's not going to be able to pick up too much. You can see, like for example, underneath the hood, you can see remnants of the dark garnet color, the maroon paint. It's quite greasy, and there's some primer overspray and so on. And you can still see the rust being from 1969. So it hasn't been detailed or touched underneath, which we'll be detailing and working on. We'll sand all of this and treat it properly. In terms of the engine bay itself, it's had the typical metal replacements on Mustangs. It's really common where you have concerns with the hood hinge plates where they attach, and then the surround around the battery. The shock towers are in really good shape. So what we'll end up doing is we're going to be removing this engine and this automatic transmission, and we have an engine block that's just beside our camera person. And this is a 351 Windsor V8 engine block, and we have most of the components to rebuild this engine. So it still has the crankshaft, we've got connecting rods and so on. I believe this has been bored 30 over at one point in its life. But what we'll do is, now that it's disassembled and cleaned, camera can probably pick it up better like that, I would think. So what we'll do is we'll send it to our machine shop along with the pistons, and then there's a little bit of ridge in there, so we'll be reboring the cylinders, and then depending on what bore we do, the nice thing of these 351 engine blocks is there's lots of, as machinists would call, meat in the cylinders, so there's lots of room to rebore, and we'll be rebuilding the engine here in-house, and then we're going to upgrade the transmission from a normal 3-speed automatic to a 5-speed manual. So we're going to do a T5 manual transmission conversion, and then instead of using a mechanical with a cable for the clutch, we'll end up upgrading with a Willwood system, which will be cable, and it'll work a lot nicer, a little bit lighter feel. So getting back to the car, we'll remove the 6-cylinder motor with the automatic transmission out of the engine bay and the radiator, and then what we're going to do is we'll just make sure that we detail this properly. We've seen there's some fluid leaking, which I believe is transmission cooler lines just from when it came off the trailer and sitting here, and then we want to make sure that everything has been detailed properly. The wires have just been kind of run through, but we want to test them and make sure. We may have to replace the wiring harness, so it's basically it's the preliminary stages of doing an inspection on the vehicle. It's really nice underneath. Just kind of needs some detail work. So the body is fairly close. I think everything has been block sanded at 180 grit paper. So we go from this to 240 grit, and then 320, and then final 400. And then once we have everything at 400 grit, it'll be ready for paint. And then our client will select one of the reds, and we'll paint it individually. We'll paint the body and then the fender and hood and all the components separately. So you can notice the wheels on it. It came this way with these aftermarket centerline wheels and radial tires. Our client's going to want authentic looking Mustang wheels, so we'll be replacing these wheels and tires. What I like about it is you see the chrome trim around the windshield's been set back on. The convertible top, it's all intact. The top obviously looks like it's the original one. The stitching and cracking is brittle. So we'll probably be replacing this top with a black top to match the black interior. But that's one of the choices that our client will be making as the build continues. So as we come down a little bit further, you can see the quarter panels are in nice shape. Everything in terms of grooves lines up properly. And then if we come around the back, the trim is off the car right now, but we do have all of the surround trim that goes between the body and the convertible top. And then you can see that we've got all of our holes for the word Mustang, and then the client just set in the tail lights just to dry fit the tail lights and the holes. And then inside the trunk we've got lots of parts that we'll be sorting through. So we've got the heads and so on to help us rebuild that 8-cylinder. So I just wanted to do basically a quick introduction. So this we'll be doing quite a bit of work on. So this is a 1969 Ford Mustang Convertible, and we'll be giving it a new drive line, and we'll be converting the brakes to a power disc brake conversion, and we'll be making custom dual exhaust, and all of that will be done in-house here at Last Chance Auto Restore. So thank you for watching, and I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.